If there's one thing to know about quiet people, it's that your first impression of them is often wrong. Yet if there's one thing that society carries with great conviction, it's that they have quiet people sussed. As a culture, we can be frightened of silence. We're scared of the quiet ones. We're desperate to noise them up, or at the very least make them feel bad about their softer toned nature. Some people get uncomfortable when there's a quiet one in their midst. They make judging statements shrouded with a question mark. Well, you don't say much, do you? And why are you being so quiet? As if there's some plot being hatched within the devious silence. No one can know why you're quiet until they get to know you. If they take the liberty of telling you that you're quiet, then they kind of shut the door on that possibility. If you're an introvert, then this has probably happened to you, where you've had your tendency towards space and thinking time and the resulting external quietness pointed out, perhaps by a teacher, a boss, a colleague, or an acquaintance. There's a double standard at work here. The question, why are you so loud, is rarely asked with the same kind of universal condemnation of someone who loves to talk. Gregariousness and noise, while sometimes inappropriate, are not met with the same level of discomfort for people as quietness. Why don't you keep some thoughts to yourself is seen as rude, whereas why don't you open up more is quite an acceptable request. Society assumes that it already knows why quiet people are quiet, and the assessment usually boils down to one of two things. Quiet people are either anxious or rude. For example, shyness or social anxiety, i.e. you want to join the conversation but you fear making yourself a social outcast by saying something stupid. Intimidation, you're intimidated by the people around you and you shrink back because you don't feel worthy. Disinterest, you're bored and you don't care or think about anyone else but yourself. Judgement, your silence is judgment about the things being said and you believe yourself to be above these people that you're with. But reality is usually a lot more complex than this. Everyone experiences shyness and intimidation from time to time, and anyone would be lying if they said they were interested in every single conversation that they had ever had. But quietness, when it stems from your natural orientation to the world, is a default way of being. For an introvert or a highly sensitive person, it's often your starting position to listen before speaking, understand before voicing an opinion, experience before expressing a response. When introverts and highly sensitive people have their quietness pointed out, two things happen. First, it's like saying to somebody that they're covered in skin. Well, yeah, obviously. And secondly, it gets beneath that skin and makes them feel like it's something to be ashamed of. So they feel like they're not at home in their own skin. They believe they're broken, they need to be fixed, so they search for solutions. And in this quest, they alienate themselves from themselves, tearing apart that most natural bit of themselves, which is foundational to their very being. You don't need a solution. You need understanding and acceptance. Just remember that it's the quiet ones who are also the innovative and creative ones. They're the observant ones who notice the things that others overlook. They find answers to problems that no one else can hear, and they've been responsible for creating much of the most beautiful art in human history. Quietness is a gift in a noisy world. It's not something to question. Only when you know a person deep down will you recognise the difference in their quietnesses. You don't need to point it out. You may just need to be there if they need or want to talk. It's not your right to make someone talk, but it is your right to hold on to your silence until you have something that you believe is worth saying.